Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have got my favorite model, Xavier. Marley is one of those faces that looks amazing with or without makeup, but I love her with makeup because I'm a makeup artist and I love faces with makeup on, so I have to love her face with makeup. I just love her face. Just look how beautiful it is. Her eyes look stunning. The jewelries and everything just flowing very beautifully together. So if you guys would like to see how I did this look and the hairstyle, please keep on watching. So first thing, I'm going to start with the hairstyle today. Now the hairstyle, I decided to do this beautiful curl version of braid on the side, kind of loose all over the place, and at the same time yet look very flirtatious and beautiful. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually creating a side part. Now Marley is always used to having a side parting, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take from that parting all the way to her ears and create a separate piece. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on her other side as well. So what I'm basically doing is I'm separating the section from ear to ear to her forehead to the side, and I'm going to pin them separately so it doesn't interfere with the hair that I'm going to work on at the back. Now for the back part, what I'm doing here is I'm creating another set of parting from crown area all the way to the first parting, and I'm going to clip it away so that it does not get into my rest of my hair, because that's where I'm going to start working first. So this is my base of the hair that I'm going to work with, but what I'm also going to do is I'm creating another parting from there exactly where I'm creating the part, and I'm kind of clipping it away as well, because first thing I want to do is I'm going to create a base for all her curls to come and sit on, right? So for that, I'm going to pin the top section. And here's the bottom part of her hair. So Marley is blessed with beautiful long hair, and it's beautifully wavy. I don't even have to do much work with it. What I'm doing here is I'm actually creating a curl on the end of those hairs, because like there's a little bit of frizziness in the hair because Marley hasn't done anything to her hair, so there's a little bit of the natural frizz that I'm going to tame it down with a little bit of straightener, and also I'm kind of giving it a texture by making it more curlier at the bottom. So once I curl the bottoms, I'm going to now take the bottom and transfer it into a nice braid. A normal braid, nothing extraordinary, not like a fish braid or anything, simple braid. Once the braid is done, I'm just going to tie it up with a simple, like a hairband. And I'm going to pull it now to make it more like messy, loose. I'm just taking out hair from left, right, and center, wherever it comes out from. Because honestly, this is going to be acting as a base for us, so I don't really need it to look more proper and clean and all that stuff. I'm just creating a messy style braid. And now I'm going to start curling the top section by one, and I'm going to first obviously take some hair out, because obviously I can't curl the whole section without taking it out, because Marley has a lot of hair, so I have to go slow. And that's another tip when you're dealing with a lot with clients, or like even if your hair per se is very thick, don't try to curl a whole bunch together, because it won't like distribute the heat properly. So you need to take out section by section hair to curl them. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking little pieces and I'm curling them. The curl-on that I'm using is actually by Irresistible Me. It's one of my favorite curlers. I had it for 2 years right now, and it's still very, very beautiful, and it distributes the heat properly. It heats up really fast. It's a perfect curler wand that I own. So once the curling is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the curl on my hand, and I'm going to actually hold it on for some time before the heat is properly distributed. Don't just let it down, because you're going to lose the curl right away. So hold it on your hand and then spray it. Once it's sprayed, I always like to pull it to create more volume curl, and just like that. I'm going to pull it so that it separates out and it doesn't create that, like, too tight of a curl. It creates more of a wavy kind of curl. And once it's done, I'm going to slowly take it and pin it. So I'm going to take a bobby pin. Oh, and of course, I'm going to tease it a little bit because I want a little bit of that volume as well. And right now, I'm not bobby pinning it because I'm waiting to curl all my remaining hair. But once my remaining hairs are all curled, I'm going to take bobby pin and I'm going to start pinning them onto the braid. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking out little by little hair from the top where I've pinned up all the hair, and I'm curling them as I'm going upwards. Now the whole idea is to curl the hair one by one, bring it down, and then get them all pinned to the initial braid that I've created. Also make sure you use good amount of hairspray because this hair needs to stay in place. So I'm going to take some bobby pin and I'm going to pin it again, making sure where I really want the hair to go. Now, you also want to let the hair kind of flow naturally into it. So do not force the hair into pinning and into areas that it's not going. Just make sure the hair is flowing towards a direction and then follow that direction and then pin them slowly. So again, I'm going to take out hair from the top little by little. I'm going to tease them first and then curl them. You can also curl them first and then tease them, up to you. And this whole process is very repetitive. So yeah, don't get bored of it because this is how this hairstyle is done. You have to take out hair little by little and work from the bottom to the up, right? So you're always going to start from creating that base as your braid, and then you're gonna have to start taking out hair, curl them as you go all the way to the top. So basically this whole process is very repetitive. Once the hair comes out of the curler, I'm going to start pinning them into the base using bobby pins. And kind of let the hair flow in that direction because you don't want to force the direction of the hair. So let the hair fall into the base in its own way, and then you can always move it up or down depending how you want to make it sit on top of that base braid, right? You don't want to push the hair and follow a different direction of the hairstyle because sooner or later that pin, it's going to push the pin out and come out of the braid. So you want to make sure the braid or the curl follows the direction. Like you want to let the hair follow its own natural direction, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to explain, but see, once I'm letting out the hair, the way it falls, you want to let it be like that, right? Of course, you want to go in and pin it, but do not change the direction of the curl. You want to keep the direction of the curl as is, but in the most natural way, right? And then you want to go and pin it in. Again, I'm going to take out hair from the top part and I'm going to start curling them and pinning them to the actual base. So now I've started taking on more hair from the crown area, and I'm teasing it and I'm placing it in the place. Also, you want to make sure the tease is done really nicely, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some stuffing into the hair. So now I've taken the stuffing, which is a long stuffing, and I'm just placing it right above the crown to give that height, and also so that when you put the dupatta, it can hold the dupatta in place. Now I'm going to take out more hair. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously start teasing them, but first I'm going to curl them and place it on top, and I'm going to take out more hair and curl them as well. But before that, I'm going to tease them. What I'm doing after teasing is I'm trying to spread the hair so it hides the stuffing properly. Now I'm going to take out more hair and I'm going to start curling them again. Once the curl is done, I'm going to again tease it down, and I'm going to spread it to hide that stuffing. And also you can place the hair in place using some jura pins, or some of us call it U-pin. They're like those U-shaped pins. Some people like to call it jura pin because they usually go on, like, you know, buns. Here I go again with the teasing. Once the teasing is done, I'm going to take the jura pin and just going to place those hair on top of the stuffing, so that the hair from the stuffing does not move around and does not show the stuffing at the end of the day, right? We want to keep it hidden. I'm going to take the sides now, also do the same thing, tease it and hide it. Now I've moved Merly to the front so I can show you. I'm going to put one more stuffing right on top of her crown. This is exactly on top of her crown. This will give her that height. Again, to hide that stuffing, I'm going to curl the hair right in front of it and then tease it and also spread it. Once it's spread, see how I've spread it? That's exactly how you're going to start spreading it, because if you don't, then it's going to show the stuffing, and the whole idea is to hide the stuffing. Once you hide the stuffing, you can always use a jura pin right to stack it on top of that hair together with the stuffing, so it both stays in place. There you go. Now the stuffing is almost unnoticeable. You don't even see it anymore. It's completely invisible. Now I'm going to take the sides. Remember the side I've parted away. I'm going to take them, curl them, and now I'm going to slowly place them where I feel like it should go. I'm placing it on top of the stuffing because I feel like it will give her that extra height, putting some jura pin right across, and that's it. And now this hair, as you can see, it naturally goes on the side, so I don't want to put it all the way up because I see it naturally flows on the side way. So I'm going to let the hair just naturally flow. And that's it. I'm going to work on the other side now. Now this is the hair that it naturally goes that way, so I'm going to keep it as is, and I'm just going to slightly, with a soft hand, I'm going to bring it at the back, put some jura pin or U-pin, and I'm going to now curl that remaining hair and put it into the braid. So see how it naturally is falling, and I'm seeing how it naturally looks, and I want to keep it that way. Hairstyling is very difficult to explain, in my opinion. I think the best way to really learn hairstyle is to learn in person. There's hardly anything that I can do to show you how a hairstyle is done, unless it's on myself or something. But if I'm like teaching somebody how to do a hairstyle, I honestly, it's better to learn in person than on videos. I don't think anyone can learn on videos by watching how a hairstyle is done. So that's it, guys. That is the final look of the hairstyle. I have left some loose hair on the front to give it a very messy bun kind of look. I don't want to bring it to the sideways right now because I'm going to be doing her makeup. But here's a quick look before her makeup, how she's looking. So we're going to start her makeup very soon, and this is the beginning of the makeup. So let's go. So first thing first, with the makeup, I'm going to put some eyebrow pencil into the sparse areas because I want to make sure her eyebrows look snatched and beautiful. I love the word snatched. I think this is so beautiful. But yeah. Now Merly already has very nice eyebrows. What I'm doing is I'm just filling the sparse areas. And for that, I've used my Benefit Brow Wiz pencil in shade 04. I've used some L'Oreal eyebrow mascara to keep the brows in place, and then I'm using my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. This is in the shade Ivory, and I'm just basically creating an eyeshadow base for her eyes. So once the application is done, the first color I'm using, it's called Golden Green by Inner Mineral Cosmetics. And this is actually loose pigments, hence why I'm using my fingertip to blend it into her eyelid. Once that's done, I'm going to use this color by MAC Cosmetics called Brown Script, and I'm just kind of putting that on her crease, but very lightly. I don't want to make the crease too dark, so it's going to be very light-handed, soft application. The next color I'm using is called Nylon by MAC, which is a beautiful vanilla shimmery tone. And I'm just placing it all over her brow bone and also her inner corners. The next color is called I Like to Watch by MAC Cosmetics. And the reason why I loved using it on her because it has a little bit of that gold reflex. Now once that's done, it's time to move on to the foundation. For that, I've used my Maybelline foundation, which is the 24-hour Stay foundation, mixed with a little bit of Fit Me by Maybelline as well. And I believe this was in the shade 220 or 210, but I'm not too sure. I will write it down below on the description box for you guys to have a look. But Marley is always used to using NC40 and NC42 mixed together from MAC Cosmetics. Now for her highlight, I'm using Maybelline Age Rewind in shade Sand. And I'm doing my usual drill, which is to apply it on her higher points of her face. So the brush that I'm using is actually by Sephora, and it is a number 34. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me using this brush quite often, but this is one of my favorite brush when it comes to blending makeup because I can go around the eyebrows, around the eyes without smudging the eyeshadows or the eyebrows. Now I'm using Rimmel translucent powder to set the rest of her face and also her underneath her eyes. Now Rimmel translucent powder is not really that translucent. It has a little bit of hint of color to it, which is okay, I don't mind, because I'm going to be balancing it out with NC42 powder. So once I've placed this powder all over her face, I'm going to go with my NC42 right after that. Now for highlighting, I'm using Ivory by Kiss New York. This powder is amazing. I'm not using a banana shade powder because Marley does not have too much of dark eye circles or hyperpigmented areas. And even if she does, I've already covered it. So all my idea of using this color is to give it a little bit of that pop and also to make it appear more out there. And for contour, I'm using Deep Dark by MAC Cosmetics. This is the MAC Studio Sculpt powder in shade Deep Dark. It's a beautiful contouring powder. For nose contour, I'm using Hoola Bronzer by Benefit Cosmetics. And Marley and I, we were just talking about how beautiful this bronzer is. Like, it's amazing. Now for blush, I'm using Rose d'Oro by Milani Cosmetics, which is one of my most favorite blushes of all time. It has a beautiful bronze orangey peach tone in it, which is beautiful, and it complements almost every skin tone. Now I'm using a little bit of the Bella Rose by Milani Cosmetics. This is a bright pink, so make sure you use a little bit, and a little goes a long way. Now I'm using the same eyeshadow by Inno Mineral. This is in the shade Golden Green, and I'm applying that under her eyes. Now this is a very good tip if your client has smaller set of eyes, or even if you have smaller set of eyes and you want the colors to pop, always use it on the bottom eyes, because as soon as the eyes open, you don't really get to see the color on the top, so you want to put it on the bottom. Now I'm placing a little bit of the loose powder because I'm going to be applying some black eyeshadow, so I want to avoid any fallout. The black eyeshadow I'm using is by Anastasia Beverly Hills in shade Noir. Next I'm using this beautiful glitter by Pixie Beauty. And now I'm placing the Kiss lashes on her lash, and make sure you are very close to the lash line, because we don't really have any eyeliner for this look, so you want to be very close to the real lash line. Once that's done, I'm going to apply some highlighter. This is by Makeup Forever. This is the Duo Sculpting Powder. And this is one of my favorite highlighter because it complements almost any shade between medium to dark skin tone. And the look is going to be complete with some final touches. That is the lipstick time. And now we're going to apply some Maybelline mixed with Kat Von D to achieve the perfect orangey red tone. This is the final look of the makeup look, guys. The jewelry was given by Precious by Myra. Outfit was produced by Marley herself. And yes, this is the entire makeup look. I hope you guys get to enjoy this makeup tutorial. This is a perfect look for Eid, for Mehndi, for Haldi, and for some fun events. So if you guys happen to recreate this, please do not forget to tag me at Makeup by Azmeree on Instagram. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below on the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time on my next video. And please hit the bell icon for more notification. Bye bye, take care, and hope to see you next time on my next video. Till then, take care of yourself.